Hi, Zizaran here, and I'm here to talk about nerfs. I wanted to make a quick nerf prediction video, talk about like just my predictions for the upcoming patch. I obviously never like making any sort of like patch notes video or any like build predictions or it like builds ahead of time, right? Because generally that's just what bad YouTubers do to bait clicks early when they actually don't know what's going to be good. But it is fun to speculate sometimes about what is going to get nerfed and what do we think GGD should do. So obviously a lot of people are very worried about Spectral Shield Throw. I wouldn't be surprised to see this nerfed, but I don't necessarily think at least the Gladiator version should get nerfed. The reason for that is that the Gladiator version is probably a very balanced build. And this might, like, a lot of people might be like, Kappa? Are you joking? But you can't really get, like, the damage on Spectral Shield Throw very high. It's got, like, probably 2 or 3 million damage ceiling, and pushing it on Gladiator, on Bleed, ahead of that is actually quite hard. Whereas something like the Raider version, that seems a lot stronger and probably more likely to get nerfed. So maybe they'll nerf the crit jewel, and we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bleed version gets nerfed at the same time, but at least that doesn't necessarily need to be, because it's not as egregious. Egregious? I think that's the word. As the other one. What should they do there? Again, I think nerfing the gem would be or the hit portion of the Spectral Shield Throw would be like the most reasonable thing to do there. Then you can still have like damage over time things, and it's a pretty cool, fun build, right? It's really, really enjoyable. I think it definitely deserves another league to stay. And I had a lot of fun playing that myself. It was really, really enjoyable. Raider build, way more likely to get nerfed, right? It's insanely strong. You can get so much damage, and Raiders are very, very tanky. Raider itself might end up getting nerfed. So could Gladiator. Gladiator gets so much defensive stuff for very little. Next up, Forbidden Rite Hierophant. Incredibly strong build on damage. It's slightly harder to play on hardcore. You need to very quickly go block and try to get a life on block shield, because mapping ends up being the hardest thing. Like, it's very, very hard to do mapping on that build. Bosses pretty easy because you do kill them incredibly fast. So we see people doing things like the Feared and stuff very quickly, right? You can get 20 million damage, just burst stuff down, and that's great. So I would say Forbidden Rite Hierophant, especially because like I think they do look a lot more on like softcore numbers than hardcore numbers anyway. And just the sheer amount of damage it does and how easy it is to scale it. A big part of it is just how much of its damage it gets from not gem level, but from totem life. So it ends up just getting a stupid amount. You end up getting like quite a lot of like maximum totem life on the tree. You get some on gear, and gem level ends up being unimportant. There's a video of somebody having a level 1 Forbidden Rite in a 1 link clearing tier 16s. So that speaks a little bit to how strong the totem level is. So how would I nerf Forbidden Rite if I was nerfing it? Because that's the one that's like, I would be very surprised if it doesn't get nerfed. I think the dangerous way to nerf it would be to nerf the AoE overlap, that the projectiles, like you can have 5 projectiles hitting a boss, etc. I think that would be a bad way to nerf it, because that ends up being like so much of a nerf. But I think the best way to nerf it would probably be how much scaling it gets from the gem level, and tune that down a little bit. I think a very easy thing to do when nerfing is to try to nerf it for like, oh, we see these crazy numbers, but I think it's better to try to nerf specifically the top end and make sure that it is playable and at the low end, and for like, you know, newer players. I think that's important to keep skills intact. If they're trying to balance, that is. I was very surprised when Chris said that they are trying to balance, because I honestly hadn't believed they were trying to. I thought they were just trying to do a shakeup every few patches, which in my opinion is what I think they should do. I think that's healthy for the game. That sure, the skill might be very balanced right now, but will completely destroy it next patch just to like change the meta. That's honestly what I thought they were doing. So I was pretty surprised when they said on the community interviews that yes, they are actually trying to balance. So that was very surprising to me. Again, Gladiator, very likely to get nerfed. I could see maybe like lower black values or lower of the that it doesn't do a 1-to-1 conversion of attack block to spell block. The bleed explosion's probably fine. Obviously, it's very strong, but also doesn't like chain properly as like, you know, Impulsa with the gloves, which I can never remember what the gloves are called, but you know, it doesn't chain like the old Fizz explosion would and stuff like that. Raider, incredibly strong. Definitely think Raider will get nerfed. It's probably the strongest ascendancy right now. And then we have Inquisitor, right? Inquisitor just like such a powerhouse. Oh wait, no, I actually got destroyed. So please buff Inquisitor actually. Yeah, Raider and Gladiator I'd say are the like most in danger of being nerfed. Wouldn't be surprised if they did something with Occultist because it's being played, but it probably doesn't deserve a nerf. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what they do. I mean, we joke a lot about Essence Drain on my channel. Essence Drain has probably been very balanced for a while now. It's a very good starter, but it doesn't always have like super good damage endgame. And if you don't know what you're doing, it can be very hard to scale it. So I think it would be hilarious if they nerfed it, but it definitely doesn't need one. It's not something I've played for a while either because, you know, as I said, it's not the best skill. It's just a very solid and a bit of a comfort pick for a lot of people. I don't think I can think of that many other things that are going to get nerfed, and feel free to join me in predictions. Like, make your like top 5 list of what do you think is going to get nerfed and do you think it should get nerfed. So yeah, very excited for Scourge. It's coming soon, 22nd October or something like that. And hope you guys are enjoying the videos. PoE University coming soon. Thanks for watching. Sub if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.